ColorDirector is the latest addition to CyberLink's suite of editing tools, and it fills an important gap. Think of it as a front end to PowerDirector, CyberLink's powerful video editing software. As the name implies, ColorDirector's purpose is to manipulate the coloration of video clips. The result is a new video that incorporates your changes. The program window has four main areas: the library, which shows the video clips you've imported; the video information area, which gives you format information about a clip when you select it; the storyboard, which is where you put clips to include them in your project; and the preview window, which shows either a selected clip or the contents of the storyboard, whichever you choose. For those familiar with PowerDirector, much of this will seem familiar. Let's take a quick look at the features of the program. In this case, I've imported the nature clip that comes with PowerDirector. To add the clip to the storyboard, you can either click on the little plus sign that appears when your cursor hovers over the thumbnail, or you can drag the thumbnail into whatever position you want in the storyboard. ColorDirector has scene detection built in. For example, this particular clip consists of 3 distinct scenes. Clicking on the tiny symbol with markers launches the scene detection module. Clicking on the OK button replaces the original clip with 3 scenes that can be handled as though they were individual clips. Once you have clips in the storyboard, you can use the tools on the Adjustment tab. ColorDirector comes with a palette of presets, which are very handy when you're learning about the program or if you're just in a hurry. They can also be used as a starting point for further tweaking. The manual tools come in 2 categories: regional and global. The global tools affect the whole image, whereas the regional tools affect only parts of it. The global tool palette is very extensive. These tools not only affect the whole image, but by default they last for the whole time the clip is playing. It doesn't have to be that way. There's a little clock symbol up to the top. It opens up timelines for each adjustment where you can set keyframes. When you don't want to change the entire image, you use the regional tools. When you expand that tool palette, you'll see 3 icons. Those icons are used to create masks, areas that limit where the tools do their work, which should be familiar to you if you've done any image editing. The leftmost icon is for drawing a selection mask by clicking on points to create a shape. The next icon is for creating a motion tracking mask, and the third is for creating a gradient mask. Selection masks are stationary. As the images change, they don't move, so they're only good for objects that don't move. Motion tracking masks work by selecting groups of pixels based on their color. As the colored object moves, the program tries to follow it. If it gets lost, you use keyframes to correct the tracking. Gradient masks, unlike the others, apply effects more strongly at one side of the mask than the other. Once you've made all of your adjustments, you produce your results. The entire storyboard is processed into a single video. This video can then be used in PowerDirector just like any other clip. It would be difficult to list all of the good things about ColorDirector. There are many more features than the ones I demonstrated, and almost every tool that I tried worked well. There are even features to help keep you from being overwhelmed. For example, I can't always picture what the various color-based sliders will do. Do I want more magenta? Less purple? Many of the global tools have click and drag cursors that can give you a lot of guidance. Notice that they move the sliders on the left. The selection mask will automatically close your polygon, so you don't have to worry about that, which can be a big problem in some programs. Scene detection is always iffy, but it seems to work well here. There are a few things that either don't work as well as they should, or aren't there at all. Some of the descriptions in the help system are rather skimpy. You'll have to depend on tutorials and tips that you'll find on the web. Since this is a new product, there won't be a lot of those for a while. I found that the motion tracking mask tool is hard to control. It has what CyberLink calls a brush size, but I'd like a color tolerance setting as well. This whole thing is a trick to pull off, so I should cut them some slack. The gradient mask is interesting, but it could be more useful. As it is, the mask always goes all the way to the edge of the image, both in the direction of the gradient and in the length of the strip that defines it. That imposes two glaring limitations. You can't use it to create a gradient ribbon in the middle of your image, such as you might use to create a fog or sunset on the horizon, because whatever effect you apply won't stop where you want it to. And you can't stop it from going across the entire image, such as you might need if you want to apply it to a view through a window or behind a building. I also find it hard to control its rotation. To me, it seems too sensitive. An important omission is the inability to control the transparency of a mask. The gradient mask does this, so it isn't impossible. I'd like to be able to do it with a selection mask so I could get a stain or wash effect. Maybe you can do this with the existing controls, but I couldn't figure out how. Two other missing tools are a paintbrush and a flood fill. The color replacement tool isn't controllable enough to be a substitute. The program isn't integrated with PowerDirector at all. That's not a big deal, but there are times when it could save a few steps. ColorDirector's installer continues the rather annoying tradition of creating a new Start menu folder for each product, rather than grouping all of CyberLink's products together in one CyberLink folder. Finally, ColorDirector is only available in a 32-bit version. A 64-bit version would probably be more responsive. On balance, ColorDirector is a valuable addition to a video editor's arsenal. It works pretty well as it is now, and it can be expected to improve over time.